Number 7. Vampire bat. In the animal kingdom, there are 3 bat species that only feed on blood, and they're commonly known as vampire bats. These are the hairy-legged, the white-winged, and the common vampire bat, all of which are native to the Americas. Like the legendary creatures which inspire their names, vampire bats only hunt at night and own a set of razor-sharp teeth. Once they find a sleeping mammal, they'll use infrared radiation to find a warm spot on the body to bite into. It's worth mentioning that aside from a few snake species, these creatures are among the only vertebrates capable of detecting infrared radiation. Once a spot has been found, they'll use their cheek and canine teeth to shave away any hair before using their upper incisors to pierce the skin and suck out the blood. Their incisors lack enamel, which means they always stay very sharp. There also are special compounds in their saliva which prolong bleeding by preventing coagulation. It's not uncommon for these winged mammals to attack humans, in certain cases with lethal consequences. In 2010, 4 children from Peru lost their lives after contracting rabies from vampire bites. Number 6. Bedbugs. Bedbugs have been known human parasites since ancient times. These tiny insects feed on human blood but, unlike other creatures on our list, aren't known to transmit any infectious diseases. They bite people at night as they're sleeping, usually targeting the face, neck, and arms. The main reason they're attracted to us is carbon dioxide, followed by warmth, as well as certain chemicals. Their bites, which often occur as 3 in a row, may cause skin rashes and other allergic reactions. Common symptoms include blisters or itchiness. You may also experience certain psychological difficulties in cases of serious infestation and repeated attacks. These may take the form of stress, anxiety, insomnia, or delusional parasitosis, meaning that a person develops an overwhelming obsession with bedbugs. Due to their ability to survive up to a year without food, it's often difficult to get these insects out of a home. There are many ways they enter a home, including by dwelling in your clothing, through wild animals such as birds or bats, or from infested items such as beds and couches. Number 5. Tapeworm. There are 7 types of tapeworm known for infecting humans, and they're usually identified by the animals they came from, such as Tinea solium from pork or Tinea saginata from beef. One of the most common ways to become infected with tapeworms is by eating raw or undercooked meat. Usually the eggs or larvae of these worms become attached to the gastrointestinal tract of their host. Once the larvae hatch, they deprive their host of nutrients and in their adult form may keep growing for years without detection. Infection isn't typically life-threatening, but complications may develop. Larvae can penetrate the intestinal wall and spread through the body by traveling through the nervous systems. When conditions for them to mature aren't ideal, they become lodged at these sites and form cysts. When they die, they can cause severe and even fatal damage. If they get to the eyes, it can result in vision loss. In the spine, they may trigger severe pain or paralysis. If larvae get to the brain, they can cause seizures, vomiting, intracranial pressure, and even death. Number 4. Leeches. Leeches are worms from the Annelida order. Much like the common earthworm, they also have soft, muscular bodies, which are segmented and may lengthen and contract. From ancient times and up until the 19th century, leeches were used in medicine to draw blood from patients. Their bites are more alarming than they are dangerous. Nevertheless, people can have severe allergic or anaphylactic reactions, which require immediate medical attention. The proper way to get a leech off the body is to detach its suckers with a flat, blunt object and then to flick it off. Killing the leech by burning it was once thought most effective. However, that's not advised, as it will cause the leech to regurgitate the contents of its stomach inside the wound. In modern times, the use of leeches in medicine may be even more important than in the past. Researchers have discovered that their secretions contain several substances with anti-inflammatory, anticoagulant, and analgesic effects. Some of their medical applications include the treatment of several joint diseases, muscle cramps, varicose veins, or with restoring circulation after certain surgeries. Number 3. Fleas. Fleas are small insects that survive by consuming the blood of birds and mammals, a practice known as hematophagy. They're able to move through the fur or feathers of their hosts because of their narrow bodies. Despite being flightless insects, they do have several adaptations which make them highly efficient external parasites. They're hard to dislodge because of their strong claws, and their mouths are adapted for piercing skin and sucking blood. Fleas also have hind legs that are exceptionally well adapted for jumping. In fact, they're among nature's best jumpers, capable of leaping over a distance that's 50 times greater than their body length. The Black Death was one of the most devastating pandemics in history, and it caused the death of 75 to 200 million people. Rats are often blamed for its spread across Eurasia, but it's often overlooked that fleas also played a major role. Oriental rat fleas, which were living on black rats, carried a bacterium called YERSINIA pestis, known to cause several forms of plagues. As the fleas bit people, they transmitted the bacterium, which wrought hell on the planet's population during the 14th century. Number 2. Mosquitoes. When wondering what the deadliest creature on our planet is, common answers usually involve bears, sharks, crocodiles, or big cats. However, in reality, you needn't look further than the common mosquito. Females of the species feed off other animals by sucking their blood through a tube-like mouthpart called a proboscis. The bite, as it's commonly referred to, is actually the proboscis piercing through the skin of its host. The itchy rashes caused by a mosquito bite are actually a reaction to their saliva. The iron and protein from the extracted blood are essential for the female mosquito to produce eggs. Roughly 3,500 mosquito species feed off birds, reptiles, amphibians, mammals, and even some invertebrates. In humans, they're known vectors for a number of potentially deadly diseases, such as malaria, Zika virus, West Nile virus, dengue fever, or yellow fever. When it comes to death toll, they're the supreme human killers of the animal kingdom, claiming over 700,000 lives each year. Number 1. Tick. Ticks are tiny 8-legged creatures which typically don't grow more than a few millimeters in length. They're part of the arachnid class, which also includes spiders and scorpions. There are 2 major tick families, Argacidae or soft ticks, and Ixodidae, also known as hard ticks. The latter have hard shells on their bodies, and their mouthparts are located at the front in a beak-like structure. Soft ticks, on the other hand, have their mouthparts on the underside of the body and lack the hard shield. Both types feed on the blood of animals located through odor or changes in the environment. Their oval or pear-shaped bodies become engorged with blood as they feed. Ticks are known carriers of at least 12 diseases which affect humans as well as other animals. Lyme disease, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, and typhus are just a few of the diseases that ticks play a part in transmitting. Most of the time, ticks aren't the direct cause of the disease, but rather a carrier for pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and protozoa. However, some tick species are also venomous and known to cause tick paralysis. The most notable example of this is the aptly named Australian paralysis tick. It can inject neurotoxins from its salivary glands into its host while feeding. Symptoms begin to develop within a week and start with paralysis of the legs, then the trunk, arms, and head, and may eventually lead to death from respiratory failure. Thanks for watching. Which of these animals that feed off humans do you think is most dangerous? Let us know in the comments section below.